Was it crazy?
I'm really excited for the new movie, I exclaimed with excitement. Little did I know.
Me and this guy are sprinting, right? And the target employees literally told us, like, no running. And we're like, shoot, 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 shoot. And the guy's like, no, I'm just skipping, bro.
I'm looking for a book.
Yep.
It would be a feature. A creature feature.
No, I'm gonna cry. It's not here.
Nobody admits anything they've done!
Yes.
Oh, okay. It's fine.
I love books. I love reading, but I'm not doing that. Hello everybody, my name is Carrie. Welcome back to my channel. I like to do song analyses, I like to do reading vlogs, reading challenges, I like to draw, so if you're into that, I like to do draw with me's or like watch what I'm drawing kind of thing. I love doing that. Disclaimer before we get into the video, obviously by the title and the elements that you see in the thumbnail, I will be talking about the FourthWing series. But I've never read any of the books in the FourthWing series. So you're probably like, girl, why are you making a video on this? I'm talking about the hype that comes from these books, and especially from what content creators are posting about the book. Maybe about what happened with the whole Target thing, and maybe something geared toward how the book wasn't the best it could have been. I'm just trying to get to the bottom of what made this book series that everyone needs to have. So if you are new to the series and you're wondering, okay, so what is this new book that came out? Like, what is Onyx Storm? What is it, and why is it creating such a discourse of emotions and chaos? So Onyx Storm is the third book in the Empyrean? Onyx Storm is the third book in the FourthWing series by Rebecca Yarros. Its predecessors are FourthWing and Iron Flame. These are pretty familiar titles within the book community, especially with book talk, and this has garnered a lot of hype and an even bigger community from its first release. Let me just give you some context for the plot of the first book. Violet Sorrengail is the daughter of a commanding general at Basgiath. I'm just gonna call it Bosgaith War College. She is forced by her mother to join the Dragon Riders Quadrant. Something that piqued my interest is that Violet has a weakness. She has chronic pain, which gives her brittle bones and tired joints, basically. It's very interesting for a main character in a fantasy novel to have such an illness of that kind, considering that a lot of authors tend to use magic to heal or completely change their character as to not let them have weaknesses that they're born with or that are inflicted upon them, let's say further into the journey of the plot. So I think it is really interesting to have that character keep her disability, and being born with it just ensures that there's no getting rid of it. I will say, is it not weird to anyone else that her mother, who birthed Violet, Mrs. Sorrengail if you please, and then is forcing her to join the Writers Quadrant with her chronic pain and weak joints? Does her mom hate her? Why would her mom do that? I'm seriously wondering. I don't think I'm gonna read the series. I am baffled. That's like my mom putting me into all these situations that cause my anxiety to skyrocket. And I have generalized anxiety disorder. If you know what that is, you know every aspect of my life is ran by anxiety. So that's like my mom putting me in the worst situations and handing me problem after problem and telling me to solve them, to fix them now. And I just get tunnel vision and I would probably fall into a coma by how anxious I am. So what the hell, Commander Sorrengail? What the hell? Just tell me if that's a conflict between her and her mom, please. Like, that's actually insane for a mother to do. So in order to be a writer, Violet must bond with a dragon, and then they need to compete in obstacle courses to acquire certain magical powers. Although here's a catch. At the college, the environment is deadly. It's highly competitive, and other writers will do anything to make sure Violet does not succeed, and that means they want to kill her. So far, all I'm getting is that Violet may have a really terrible mother and everyone wants her dead. That is, Violet's like 20 something in the book. I'm 22. I would crash out. That would, I'm turning around. I am transferring war colleges. She is damn near killed by some guy named Jack and then meets one of her main love interests, Zayden, when she gets assigned to the FourthWing under his command. See, they said the thing. They said the thing. She's in the FourthWing. Wing. And that's what the book is called. They said that anyways, I assume that being assigned to the Fourth Wing and having someone superior to them, it's kind of like what a platoon or a troop is in our terms. So then here's another piece of conflict that's actually following Violet around as well. So her mother killed Xaden's father because his father was the leader of something called the Tyrish Rebellion. And back to the whole everyone wants to kill Violet kind of thing. This is also a big reason of why they want to kill her. At the school, there's people who actually want to go there to be writers, and then there's prisoners. Literally, children prisoners. Okay, I couldn't say children. I mixed up my words. It's not exactly child prisoners, but they are children of parents who followed Xaden's father in the Tyrish Rebellion. Tyrish? If your parent was part of this rebellion, you apparently have like tattoos to like show that. And this group of characters are called the marked ones. And so with the tattoos, with Violet's mother killing Xaden's father and ending the rebellion, they fucking hate Violet. So these characters whose parents fought in that rebellion on Xaden's father's side, they are sent to the War College as a form of retribution. And if you don't know what that means, it's basically a sentence because you are accused of wrongdoing. It is a punishment. And so you have this college that is a school for some characters to learn and grow and become dragon riders. And then you have characters who are prisoners of this war college, who are leaders of the certain wings, certain quadrants, whatever. And this is just society's way of saying, you are on the wrong side, we're putting you to work. And I don't know if they're able to become, like, I don't know, certified dragon riders. Is that a thing? Is that like certified forklift driver kind of thing? I'm serious. I don't know. I'm just giving y'all a base level thing of information. So basically the marked ones are prisoners who have to teach the non-prisoners. So the marked ones are literally prisoners who have to teach the students how to ride and bond with dragons, and so Xaden is one of these individuals. He's one of the marked ones. The novel is wildly loved by readers who indulge in fantasy, but, and this is not an accusation or assumption of the readers, but this book also contains smut. By the reels and Instagram content I've seen, I'm not into whatever is in it. So like I said, I only know this because of Instagram reels, and there was just this one that I could not get out of my head, and I still can't. I can see it perfectly. It was, a meme, and it was saying like, this is how I imagine Xaden like releases or whatever when he's with Violet, and it's just electricity crackling and whatever. So that leads me to believe that Xaden has some kind of power with electricity, I think. And so all these comments underneath that video or videos like it say like, oh my god, everyone knows when Violet and Xaden are getting it on. Like, oh my god. That's weird. I'm sorry, I think that's weird. As someone who doesn't indulge in the book, and then someone who might, I would think that is so weird. Why would you ever want to know? That is so weird. I don't even like that in the real world. Like, don't tell me that. Can we do a fade to black? Can we have the characters like, they're teasing us and then we fade to black? Please. But yeah, so I guess Xaden's powers of electricity burst out as he's bursting into Violet. Anyways, what's up with the craze of Onyx Storm? Why are people fighting? Why are they lined up outside like it's Black Friday? Why are grown women crying in the middle of Target? Onyx Storm was released on January 21st of this year. It had not one, not two, but 3 editions of the novel. So what's the difference, you may ask? It's not the covers, but it's the pages' edges. So basically this part of the book. You have the deluxe limited edition with the sprayed edges, and that has 5 dragons. One of them is gold. The lettering on the cover is just plain white. These are mostly sold out at available bookstores, but I think you have a better chance of getting this one than the 3rd one I'm about to talk about. Then there's just a regular Onyx Storm cover. The font on the front is white, there's no sprayed edges, nothing new, nothing fancy, it's just a normal hardcover of the book. And then you've got the Target exclusive edition. This is the one that's got the book girlies fighting. I will say at first I didn't realize it because I thought it was just the edges that were all the hype, but apparently the lettering on the front is gold instead of white, and instead of having 5 dragons on the paper edges, you have 1 gold dragon and it's like flying, and I mean it's a cool design. It's like a trailing mist behind it or smoke or whatever. I'm not gonna lie, it's pretty cool. And inside the book you have a velvet bookmark that comes attached to the covers, and then you have, well, it was marketed as original artwork. By my smile, can you tell that they lied? I'll get to that later. So if you're into collecting different covers of books, the Target exclusive is what you want. I prefer paperback. I'm not one for hardcover anyways, but I'm also not one to buy multiple copies of a book just to get a different design. I'm really biting my tongue back on this one, but we'll talk a little more about that too later. I'll just say I'll link an article from Screen Rant down below talking more about that. So with the Target exclusive dropping on January 21st, fans were ecstatic, and a lot of them pre-ordered or were hoping to have a pre-order on the Target website. They hopped on the early hours of the morning. For some reason, that being 3 a.m., of course I didn't look into what news source that came from, or maybe it was Target themselves. Anyways, fans were up at 3 a.m. to nab this book. And so at like 3 a.m. or even before then, I think because people were hopping on the website, Target's servers crashed. For some, you would actually be on the website, but then I think when you would try to buy the exclusive, the site would just crash. And for some, you couldn't even get on the site in general. It would just kick you out, or it wouldn't even show up. And then if you were actually able to get on the website and the servers didn't crash, Onyx Storm was sold out. Now for the few, and I mean the few, I've heard who got their book by online means, they found out later that their order was canceled. Something like this happened with Amazon as well with pre-orders, because someone had said they pre-ordered the book, I mean just even the normal hard copy cover, and within a few weeks it got canceled because there was a back order on the books or something. Basically, everyone was trying to get their hands on a copy of Onyx Storm, either 2 editions or all 3. My guess is it's because the book isn't such a high demand. Miss Yarrow's got y'all around the throat. She is not letting go of y'all, and y'all are not letting her. Y'all don't want her to. And I respect that, honestly. When you love an author, you love an author. So like I said, what I'm really focusing on for this video is just the hype surrounding these books. I mean, I haven't seen people fight like this since that Starbucks and Stanley Tumblr collab. I mean, people were stealing them. People were literally fighting with fists. I mean, tearing the whole display down. They were taking 2 at a time. 2 for 2 hands. Crazy. I mean, absolutely crazy. And the extreme emotion of hype from the fans about the FourthWing series is being compared to Sarah J. Maas fans and Swifties, actually. I think this is a little unfair to say, not just because I am a Swiftie, but because it gives a bad name to a majority of the community or fan base who are laid back, who just normally indulge in buying one of the paraphernalia, you know, one of the merch. I mean, nothing huge, just, you know, you have it because you like the thing, but a normal amount. And this news isn't surprising if you've been part of a fandom or a fan base for a long time. You know, maybe you're one of the laid back ones, but maybe you know someone who's a little more into it than you are, and then you probably know someone who's diehard. They would absolutely die on the hill of which this niche stands on. And then of course you got the weirdos who we don't really like to talk about. I've been a part of many fandoms. I am now, but when I say I am laid back, I mean I am very laid back. Like, all the excitement I just kind of keep inside of me. You know, I'll make art or something and post to it, but over the years, I have just, I've noticed a few things, really. I have seen characters be over-sexualized, infantilized, and I've heard people say gross sexual things toward a character's actor, and I don't like that. I don't think anyone would. Really, I think a lot of people are too comfortable on the internet to sexualize people. Even if they're fictional, I still think it's weird. And then for some reason, those people get famous and then get to meet the person that they've publicly sexualized. Okay. If I was a celebrity, I'd feel really weirded out about that. Like, really weirded out. I'm thinking of making the whole over-sexualization thing a whole other video, so we'll see. Anyways, it's unfair for a group, like a fan base, fandom, whatever, to be called annoying or rude or terrible just because only speak ill of all the members. What I'm saying is, if this doesn't apply to you, it doesn't apply to you. You may know someone that this applies to. And I bet you can think of a lot of content creators that this does apply to. I first found this video on my Twitter feed, but it was sped up. But then I found it from this hilarious content creator in the book community named Brit and Her Books. She is absolutely hilarious. She does this whole thing with a whiteboard and drawing and everything that she talks about on the whiteboard with a pointer. She like slams the pointer into the whiteboard. It will be about her book icks, her favorite things in books, or just things that she's noticed while reading. But she is so funny. I look forward to every single video of hers. She is so witty, and she's my favorite comedian without being a comedian. So let's watch the video and see what made it interesting.
Can you help me? Oh,
Yes. Sorry.
were you counting? I'm so sorry.
So I was like, I don't know.
I'm looking for a book.
Nope.
Why?
I'm sorry.
I was literally.
The Rebecca Yarrows?
Uh-huh.
Yes.
Why?
I'm sorry.
I was literally on the Target app at 3 a.m.
Yeah.
No, I'm gonna cry. It's not here.
No, we have none.
None.
None. They dropped in orders, and then we had a line outside
At what time? I thought you guys opened at 8.
5:30, and we open at 7.
Were there physical copies here?
Yes. I'm sorry.
Oh, okay. It's fine.
Okay, so she's scouring Target for Onyx Storm, and then she meets an employee who immediately clocks her on it. And by that I mean she just knows exactly what she's talking about when she says, "I'm looking for a book." And then when the employee's like, "We don't have it," and whatever, this lady, this poster is saying, "Why? Why?" As if the Target employee is her dearest friend who betrayed her in battle. And then the woman begins her story about being on at 3 a.m. and being a victim of the servers crashing and not being able to attain a copy. However, she is letting her emotions overcome her in front of a stranger whose help she asked for, and then disregards the employee the minute she is told that they do not have any more physical copies. Apparently, the poster was confused about what time Target opened, and I'm just assuming after she failed at getting the book online, she was going to come in early, but I guess she thought they opened an hour later or something. Basically, I just want to talk about how this kind of attitude, basically her attitude is just so off. Her body language is off. She is very emotional and doesn't tell the employee thank you. She is very emotional about the whole situation, but still, having asked the employee for their help, she doesn't really thank them for their help. I mean, you know, they didn't solve anything, but still, I mean, it's just kind of classy to do. I'm just saying, when I went to Barnes & Noble a few days after Christmas and was looking for The Invocations by Crystal Sutherland, and I was told that it was literally at the register being bought, the very last one, I didn't cry. I'm just saying. My brain is not fully formed. I am 22 years old. I did not cry when the book I was looking for was literally being bought at the front. Did I go up and did I fight the individual who bought the book first? No. I had 4 other books that my boyfriend was holding for me. I was okay. But I know exactly what it feels like to be disappointed in wanting something or failing to achieve something. I know we want to be happy in the long run, but sometimes things like that just don't work out. And of course, this is a spectrum. And where this woman and her situation falls on the spectrum is at the end where it's not pertinent. It is not dire. And so that's just what I'm confused about. What is this hype of this book, of this series that has everyone fighting and grown women crying in Target? I don't understand. especially when I've gotten videos of people saying that the book wasn't even that good. I found one where someone, like people are on the fence about this, and the comments are just a mix of, oh, I feel the same way too, thank goodness, and then, what? I can't believe it, how could you be on the fence? Because I've also heard some say that the books are just not written well. And I want to say, I think that's, I need to make a video on this. I think it's the smut. I think everyone is just so focused on the smut that the plot is just kind of there. Like, no, the smut is the plot. No, I thought the dragons were the plot. Okay, I thought it was this whole fighting the highly competitive terrain of the school. I thought that was the plot. I don't want 500 pages of sex.
How long is this going to take?
But that's me, okay? I'm sorry, I'm getting on a rant. My question is, what sets this book aside from all the other fantasy and romance or romantasy books? There are romantasy books where there is probably just the same amount of smut and little plot, or way more plot, little bit of smut, or it's just smut free, and I just don't understand how it's this series that gets all the hype. I'm not hating, I am just genuinely confused. Especially when you're giving out 3 separate editions for the book. I would just want the book. I will take a normal book. I am a plain Jane, and I am okay with that. And I definitely do not want a book that does not come with original artwork.
I'm really excited for the new movie, I exclaimed with excitement. Little did I know, it would be a feature, a creature feature, featuring the creature.
Oh, would you look at this?
Yeah, well...
Would you look at that?
Yeah, there's a few more blemishes on the car.
Oh my gosh, just look at it.
The car is not perfect.
Many readers have found out that in the Target exclusive edition, there are artworks or art pieces in there that are literally D&D fan art of stock images, like stock image fan art. Does that make sense, you know? Literally just look up D&D like dragon fan art or something, and you will find the pictures that were used in the Target exclusive edition. And I'm someone who loves art, so I would feel a little betrayed. I would feel very swindled, if you may. The only thing that is like different from these photos, if you can, like, different is too big of a word even. Literally they are just lightly edited to at least show maybe one character over the 3 that the actual original art has. And it's just slightly colored on, like, the whole thing is just slightly colored, like a different hue to fit the book's aesthetic. It's crazy. It's a mess. Like I said, I'd feel betrayed wanting to see beautiful original artwork only to have been lied to. And not even that, to be part of a cash-grabbing scam. Okay, scam might be a little too big, but this is a cash grab. I don't have a bookshelf here with me at my campus house. I don't even have one back at my home. All I have is this book crate, and I love it. Would I want a bookshelf in the future when I get my own place? Absolutely. Absolutely I would. But I don't understand the need to have a pretty bookshelf when I think books are pretty cool anyways. Just to see the collection. And I understand if it's a collection. If you have the money for this, if you are working and are able to build that money back up that you spent on all these editions, okay, great, you know, I mean, if you're happy with it, fine. I just see it as a way to get people to buy the exact same book with literally nothing new added to it. At least maybe a bonus chapter or maybe some scenes that didn't make it into the book. If that's what you want to put your money towards in order to read those scenes yourself, okay, that's great. You do that. But let me tell you, if you are collecting these books, good for you, like I said, awesome. But please stay off eBay. There have been people selling any edition of the book. Doesn't matter if it's the Deluxe Limited, the Target, or just the normal hard copy. People are selling these books on eBay for the new low price of $100. I even saw one that was damn near $300. Please, 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 do not buy those books. Someone is taking your love for the story, your love for the author, and making a profit for themselves. Your love for this book is a means to an end for them. You are a tool in their game to earn more money. And when you're on eBay, you can see that people have put in like, I don't know what they're called, but like their name in to be like, oh, I want this. So like I'm keeping a tab on this. I'm watching. There are people who are willing to buy over $100, over $200 of this book just to have it. Now, I'm not criticizing the book community for, now there's a lot of other fandoms, fan bases, whatever, that have cash grabs. Taylor Swift is one of them. I was not going to buy You're Losing Me on Apple Music for like $3.99, okay? And for the people who did go out and buy the vinyls just to have You're Losing Me as an extra song, only later to find out that she released it free on Spotify when she was Artist of the Year. Oh, y'all were mad. Oh, I know y'all were mad. Because I was mad for y'all. I was mad for y'all. And I was the one who was finding it all over YouTube and that episode podcast on Spotify because people upload leaks like that. And she also just released The Lover cardigan. Now, did I buy that? Yes. But I didn't really think the 1989 one was cute. I didn't really much care for the Midnights one. Literally all I have are the Tortured Poets and the Speak Now one. And honestly, if Reputation looks cool, I'll think of buying it, but if it kind of looks something like 1989 or the Midnights one, I also don't have her Eras Tour book because people on Twitter were posting pictures of each page, so I technically got to read a good portion of the book for free. Once again, I'm not criticizing anyone who collects certain things for a niche or a hobby. I think it's awesome to have something like that. My little brother loves to collect sports cards. My boyfriend and his brother love to collect Pokemon cards, and he's got friends who love D&D, so they indulge in all that merchandise. I do think it is a problem when some people are so engrossed in this niche that they feel the need to buy all the merchandise, all the paraphernalia, and then blast it all over the internet as if to prove that they're the biggest fan, and I don't think that's a rule of any fandom. I mean, you can jokingly say that, oh, I'm their number one fan. But I don't think you need to waste your money just to say you're the number one fan. I'll bring up Taylor Swift again. Would it have been cool if for the second leg of her Eras Tour back in America, I saw her again? Yeah. But did I forget about the times the tickets were going to be released? Yeah. Was I upset about this? No. I was just like, oh darn, I missed it. Oh well. But you know what? Those prices would have been so high as well. So, I think once was enough. And at least until maybe something happens where prices can, by the grace of God or whoever, can go down, I'll go see her again. But for now, I love the one concert I went to because I went with my mom, who is a bigger Swiftie than me, I believe, and who has even been a longer Swiftie than I have been. So I'm going to continue buying books at prices that I can afford. Like I said, I love paperbacks, and I love using my Barnes & Noble's reward card to get money off of all the books I'm buying. Barnes & Noble, that would be super freaking cool if you would sponsor me. I would literally die of happiness. And I'm going to read books on my book cart. I told myself I'm not buying any more books until I can read all these books on my book cart, DNF it, whatever. As long as I can not waste more money because I am a college student. There are other things besides books that I want for myself. And my book cart is going to remain looking like a child's corner because I love Snoopy, Woodstock, and Tigger. And I love happiness. And so yeah, it may look like a child's corner in a library, but it's my book cart. And I like it. and I think it's pretty. Also want to give a huge thank you to all of those who have found my channel from my TikTok commentary video. I am overwhelmed by the comments, the likes, the views. Everyone has been so nice so far in the comments, and I'm so happy that that video went over well because the framing was so off, but I was so excited to make it because I'm really getting into commentary now. I've loved watching it, and you know, I just thought, well, I have this channel and pretty sure I can find, you know, ways to mix in commentary, and you know, I don't always have to talk about books, but that is my main thing. And so now here's a commentary and a book thing merging together. So it's awesome. But thank you all so much for watching. If you like this video, please like and subscribe. What is it? Hit the bell, the notification thing. Comment down below if you agree or disagree on my takes, or maybe type in something that I missed. Maybe something that is part of this hype of the series. Maybe some of you can get me to try to read it. We'll see. We'll see.